Hey, how's it going? This is Walid Chaya.
I'm Kavita Raj.
And you're listening to Lights,
Camera
Convo. And we're here today with a very special guest, Eddie, also known as C3.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Good.
How are you?
Pretty good. Excited to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
I love your jacket.
Thank you.
Looking fresh. Ladies and gentlemen, immerse yourself in the dynamic dance beats of C3, a Lebanese music producer and DJ, merging global influences to unify EDM enthusiasts worldwide.
Let's embark on C3's international journey and gain insight into his creative process and global impact.
That's right. Welcome, Eddie, also known as C3. Tell us, what should we expect today?
Well, you're going to hear a preview of my 2 new songs. I'm very excited about them. It's going to be my first Spanish song that I've been trying to work on for a while. And also my other song that I'm collabing with another producer on that's going to be really good.
Awesome. We love EDM music.
Obsessed.
We love dance
Obsessed.
music. And we just can't wait. For all of you listeners, you're going to get to hear these tracks today live on the air. So stay tuned. More to come with that.
It's a dance party
It's a
today.
dance party
That's
today.
it.
It's absolutely a dance
Taking us
party.
to club.
Yes. What about you guys? Walid and
Yeah.
Kavita, what have you been up to?
Walid, how was your week?
Oh my gosh, it's been a great week. We're now mid-March and we're
Yeah.
gearing up for the premiere of Darn It Darla,
Uh-huh.
my short film that's coming out into the film festival circuit soon.
Yep.
So we're now at a final cut, and the next phase is the event production, is getting ready for the private premiere, finding a venue, getting the guest list ready, getting the screening, track in order, all that fun stuff. What about you, Kavita?
Do you have any final touch-ups in the editing and the filming as well?
Yeah, we got lucky. We didn't have to do what's called pickup shots.
Okay.
Pickup shots is if you miss something, you go back and you
Right.
pick it up.
Right.
We got all the shots thanks to our awesome DP Ryan and our awesome crew. But as far as editing and fixing things about, absolutely, I went with the editor for nearly 2 months. Back and forth for something that is so intricate, and we are at a whole other rendition of the film now, and I can't wait for you to see it.
I am
Both of you.
excited,
Would love to have you
Really
there, Eddie,
excited.
too. We'll have you
Super
come to the
pumped.
premiere.
Super pumped.
Yes. What about you, Kavita? What's happening in that music world?
It's been an exciting month. A lot of preparation for Ria's next music video. We are filming 2 music videos in early April, so a lot of pre-production work, a lot of venue scouting, finalizing that. And there are 2 different vibes, but we're going to film these videos back to back, 2 days back to back, because it's the same crew. So we're trying to be super efficient and do this before our India trips in May, which I'll talk about later. But yes, so that's been the bulk of the work right now. Casting and just a lot of budgeting, that kind of thing.
Awesome. Can you tell us the names of the 2 songs that Ria's working on?
Yes, it's going to be Hush and Hunter.
Hush and Hunter,
Yes.
H squared.
H squared.
Speaking of numbers, we have C3 with us.
C3.
Number one. Number one
On that
Lebanese DJ and music producer.
Yes.
We're so excited to dive into today. Can you just give us a little idea for High in Dubai? How did that come about?
So a lot of my music and my ideas come about when I'm actually out. And I just observe how people are acting and how the DJ is interacting with the audience, or when I'm DJing, and then just little lyrics come to mind, and then I usually get the lyrics recorded. I find vocalists, and then I create the beat from that.
This
Okay.
is so amazing. As a mother of an artist, 2 musicians, very familiar with the EDM world and the creative process behind it, because
Yes.
Ria was a top liner writer, and she had about 22 releases in high school between
wow,
11th and 12th
yes.
grade with EDM DJs all over the world.
That's
So the
amazing.
process is very similar. It's
Yes.
that one exciting
Yes.
word
Yeah.
that is the beginning. spark.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll be out and then I'll pull out my phone and write a quick little lyric. Then I'm I'll get back to this later. Then later when I go home, I just write things based on that, and that's how it just develops.
And do you have a typical vocalist that you go to for the...
Right now,
the
right now
demo?
I'm trying to do I want to do a bunch of different languages. I want to use different languages from all over the world. So I just try to find, or I have people recommend someone to me, but I'm always open to different vocalists. So I feel since it's always different languages, I find different artists.
Lovely.
And I think that makes
Get
you
into it.
really an international, artist in that
Right.
case, because you're working with languages across the board, not
Yeah.
just English, not just
So
Arabic.
exciting.
Exactly.
Your latest release dropping today, the day of this episode airing, is your new song, correct?
Yes, it is.
And
Yes.
can you tell us again the name of it?
It's Detras Del Dinero.
And just a quick reminder, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok. Kavita, where are we at?
At Lights Camera Conversation.
We're so happy to have you on this segment, and we're
Yeah.
going to dive in and get to know you a bit more.
Yes.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Can you tell me how you guys met? I want to hear that story.
Absolutely. Eddie, I don't think you knew me before I knew you because I'd go to parties that you were DJing at in West Hollywood at special events, and I would hear Eddie DJing. And it was just always a hit. It was always a banger. The crowd was always lit. And eventually I introduced myself to you. And here we are today. Can you believe it?
Did you guys, you were together at a New Year's party, right?
That's what I was
Where
going
he
to say.
working.
That's when we actually really talked. It was
Correct.
downtown in New Year's.
Yes.
And we
So
exchanged info, and yeah.
And it was
that's
an
where it
awesome New
started.
Year's party. It was, very Middle Eastern centric.
Obsessed.
And there were, Persian rugs and lanterns and belly dancers and hookah bar. And it was just a fun New
food
Year's
and
party.
I would have been there if it wasn't for the fact that we were in Cabo.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Kavita
we
was
would have
That's a
been
good
there. We always
excuse.
spend
Okay.
a New Year's
We
together.
do. We love
Yeah.
spending
I
New Year's
love it.
together.
Yeah.
So that's how Eddie and I met, and
exciting.
the rest is history.
Insane.
And for me, it's been a treat, Eddie. Knowing you're Lebanese and representing and doing big things in this most challenging market. You're in
Yes.
Hollywood, so we're going to talk about that now. Can you tell us about a moment in your career that you consider to be your biggest achievement so far?
Yeah, well, right now, my biggest achievement, I would say, is with one of my songs I've already released, I Just Dance. So my idea behind that song was to just bring everyone in the world together and like dance. And in the words, it says like, even though there might be no party, like I still dance. So when I had put that song out, a bunch of different people from all over the world did little dances to it. So to me, doing that kind of like showed me what I want to do with my music. So I had people from like Uganda doing music, people from the country of Georgia. So I think so far that's been my biggest success because that meant a lot to me. And it kind of validated what I'm trying to do.
That's the thing, right? As a creator, when your art can resonate with people,
Exactly.
and that's amazing. As a musician, you're like, okay, you know what? People are now vibing with it. It's becoming popular. It's gaining traction, and you've got that amazing response across socials with people dancing, which is exactly what musicians need right now. We literally need people on social media taking your song and doing like creative content with it.
For
and
sure.
the fact that the song lent itself to that kind of connection that people
Exactly.
found is so exciting.
Yeah.
Tell us a little more about your creative process. When you're thinking, I want to, release a banger, make a hit. What is that process you go through? I know you mentioned the, basic steps of how you start writing, but tell us a little deeper about.
So for me, it's just bringing out what the culture of music and what everyone's doing at these parties, and kind of creating a message through that, because I feel like music is the biggest tool to get your message across, and that's always in the back of my head. So especially when I'm DJing, before I create the set, I kind of visualize what I want the crowd to be doing and like kind of the setting, even though it's going to be in a bar, in a club. If I want them to feel like they're on a beach, if I want them to feel like they're like traveling in the Middle East. So I envision that, then I create the set based on that. Then after, I usually sit and like close my eyes and kind of listen to it. And if I feel like I'm in that setting, then I guess
Then you've got a
I
good
succeeded.
set.
Yeah, then I have
going.
a good set.
Yeah.
And that's literally what I do every single time.
Very exciting. Do you work on mostly remixes, originals, combinations of both?
Combination. So with my Middle Eastern night that I DJ, I kind of wanted to not play just the typical like straight up Arabic songs. I wanted to somehow make those songs relatable to other people who aren't Middle Eastern, to kind of want to be at those events, to kind of connect with the music.
So in your set, when you're performing, is it mostly remixes, originals, a combination of both?
It's a combination. For DJing, I do a lot of remixes because I try to make the songs relatable to everybody, kind of like
familiar.
in my Middle Eastern night.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll find songs that are popular now in the same key as these Middle Eastern Arabic songs, and I'll
Obsessed.
take the vocals from it and I'll pop in little echoey vocals of those songs. So when people are dancing, they're like, "Wait, did I just hear, let's say, Rihanna or this vocal from this song?" But so they're more listening and in tune with the songs and they're connected to it, even though it's Arabic. And now their brain is kind of like using that Arabic song with the English vocals. So now
Yeah.
they're getting to know new music.
Yeah.
So I try to do that
That's
with
so cool.
everything. Yeah.
I love that.
Question for you both. Do you dream in Arabic or in your second language or in English?
That is such a great question.
Everyone always asks me that because when I came
That is
here,
such
I
a
didn't
good
know
question.
English. Arabic
Okay.
was my first language. I used to always dream in Arabic,
Oh.
but I think it just depends on like your interactions every day. That's how your dreams work.
Did you grow up in Lebanon?
I did. So
Okay.
I moved here in 2001 to Connecticut with my dad.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
My girls were born in Connecticut.
Oh, no
we
way.
lived in Connecticut for 10 years.
Oh,
I
nice.
love
That's
finding
so
these
well.
like
You never
personal connections.
I still have
with
a
guys.
Connecticut number.
I do, me too. My 203.
Mine's A60.
What?
Oh, Connecticut in the
Funny.
house.
love it.
Connecticut in the house.
Connecticut.
Okay, cheers to that.
Cheers to
We did not
Connecticut.
have
Drinking
our
here.
drink yet
Yes.
today.
Yes. We hope you're listening and joining us with a beverage of your choice. We have a nice white wine here brought to you by our own Kavita Raj. Thank you, Kavita.
You know what? At this rate, we need to start our own winery, Walid.
Seriously, if you have a wine or alcohol sponsorship, please contact our show, Lights Camera
Yes.
Convo.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's continue. So you both dream in both languages.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's super
Yes.
interesting.
Right, me too.
Here you are now making your dreams a reality, C3. We have a few more minutes to talk about, your biggest achievements, but we are going to listen to, your song in the next segment, I Just Dance.
So exciting.
So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned because we're going to hear I Just Dance. Before we get to that, tell us, between I Just Dance, between the new song that dropped today and your past work, what's something similar or a through line or maybe your signature trademark that we, might find consistent in your work?
All my music have something to do with something I've been through in my life. Even one of my other songs that has no vocals is just literally when I hear it, it's a storyline of like a relationship I had.
Okay.
So it's they all have that sort of
Personal touch.
that personal touch, yeah, and they're all generally in tech house genre, yeah.
I am just loving this concept. As someone that just grew up loving electronic dance music all my life,
Yes.
and to see my kids do it now, to have them loving
That's so
house music
amazing.
and dance music, I have such a special, kind of draw to it. So very exciting. What are some of the places that you're performing at now, and what is
So
the
I'm
next hot project?
usually West Hollywood. I do a lot of warehouse parties downtown.
Okay.
I travel. I DJ in San Francisco. So I just try to, like, when I get contacted for a gig, I try to see if it's the vibe I want. And I'm actually in the works of starting my own event in San Diego. So that's going to be
wow.
coming up next.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
exciting!
Diego,
Yeah.
This
get
is
ready.
amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know where, or is that still
I
in the
do,
works?
but I won't say yet. But the
Okay.
vibe, so it's going to
Ooh,
be
okay.
circus themed.
Okay.
All the
What?
time.
Party.
Circus, but circus house.
Okay,
Ooh.
so
House
as
music.
soon as you're ready to share it, please let
Yes,
us know so
I
we can
definitely will.
blast it on
I
our
definitely will.
podcast.
Tell
Thank
us,
you.
where can we find you on Instagram and any other platforms?
So Instagram, C.3 Music, and on all streaming platforms, C3.
That's right. So again, Instagram, C.3 Music. Give Eddie a
Yes.
follow at C.3 Music. And you'll be hearing about the San Diego parties
Yes.
online, with
Yes,
updates to come.
everywhere, yeah.
Love.
Yes. Okay, super.
And then all your parties are, all the events that you perform at and the parties are all available on your socials? When
Yes,
people follow
I-
you, they are
I
able to
keep
see
everything up to
where they
date.
can find you and,
Yes.
catch up with your work. This is so exciting.
It
What is
is.
going to be happening in this segment?
Well,
I cannot
we're
even
going to
wait.
have our special guest, DJ and music producer C3. We're going to listen to one of his songs. C3, are you excited as we are?
I'm
my
very
God, I am.
excited. I'm
This
excited
is-
to see your reactions.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was particularly exciting when we were talking the last section was you mentioning how the music is personal to you during the creative process. It's a reflection of what you were going through in that phase. And not just lyrically, but even just production-wise, the sound, the beats. It's kind of reimagining what you were going through. So that's amazing to hear, right? That's so
Yeah,
special.
exactly. I feel like music kind of like takes you back to a moment, like it has that nostalgia
Yes.
feel to it.
Yes.
And it's, you know, just like writing poems, making beats and stuff, it's poetic.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like creating music tells a lot about you as an artist. You know, like I had one of my friends send me this beat he was working on. I was able to kind of see how his mind works based on how his structure is of the beat he made. So
Yeah.
I think
It's a
I think it's very
reflection of your
powerful.
personality or voice. Right?
Exactly.
I just want to make a special note that we have 2 additional hosts every week. Here are our babies, Miss Coco and Miss Honey.
Yeah, so if you hear 2 dogs whimpering, they're the puppies.
Yes.
And you can find
we are going to
them
have
on this episode and on Instagram.
Yeah,
at
they're famous.
Miss Coco, Miss Honey. If you want to
Yes.
see these precious faces that are squirming about
Yeah,
during
yeah.
C3's interview.
They're popular, and if you guys are lucky enough, one day we will share the bloopers and the outtakes and the behind the scenes where you will hear their background music that C3 is
Yes.
going to be using in his future track.
Yes.
Yes. So it's so interesting to hear how, you know, there's a common thread here, C3, even from the track your friend sent you, that you hear your voice, you hear your friend's voice in these tracks. And I think that's because you're both artists, music producers. You're not just engineers. Not that there's anything wrong with being an engineer, but you're more involved in the creative process.
Exactly. I feel like anything creative and anything artsy, it's hard to kind of like make it very generic, I think. I think you always end up putting a little bit of yourself in it. So I feel like that's what makes all music unique. Even if you only did a little part, that's a little part of you in that.
100%.
I love it. And
I'm
we're
so
about
excited to
dive in. So without further ado, introducing C3's hit, I Just Dance.
Everybody, come together and dance. There might be no party, but let me tell you, I just...
proud seeing people dance like that to this song. Right? It's just
I'm
got
very
such a
excited for
groove
it.
to it.
Yes, you were saying while we were listening, Kavita, that it reminded you of a fresh version of a hit. What was it you said?
The vocals were giving me like the Arabic remix of "I'm Too Sexy."
Yes, I'm too sexy. Yeah, and then
It had that like deep, like
yes, and that
Yeah.
was your
rich
voice,
voice.
C3, right?
Yes, yes.
So tell us about adding your voice as a layer in the song.
So I wanted to experiment with it because I don't have a lot of like knowledge with like recording vocals. So I had someone do the vocal, then I layered my vocal on top of that because I'm like, it'll give it that extra touch
Depth.
of
Yes,
having me in
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I feel like that's one thing, like how deep I wanted it to be. I feel like layered with my voice.
Did you like deepen your voice, or did you use an
I
effect?
You
just
have a great
dance.
voice. So,
Yeah,
I just-
yeah,
yeah,
you
you
should
have a
do
great
these
voice.
more,
Thank you.
these vocal touches in
Yeah.
your own song. That could be like a signature.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
yeah.
It could be
Tag,
like
a
your signature, a
signature.
tag.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's giving such an artistic energy into the song.
I love that,
I loved
knowing
it.
it's your voice.
Yeah.
And it kind of wakes you up when there's a little bit of lyrics, even something. It was simple, yet it was really effective and still painted a picture for me.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
love that Arabic melody. That
Yeah, yeah. A lot of most of my music has an Arabic melody to it.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
That was very beautiful.
Thank you.
Took me back to amazing. Just you kind of fused like a very traditional sound, which is beautiful, fresh, modern
Thank you,
beats,
yeah.
and like nostalgic, of course, 2000s with the
Yes,
the
yes.
"I'm Too Sexy" sound. You should be
Yes.
doing this with your vocals on many of your tracks.
Yes.
I'm loving it.
We just heard your amazing song, I Just Dance.
It was so incredible.
so much fun.
And when you find it on platforms, the video that goes with it is just one of the many, many dance
Yes.
videos that people created for
Yeah,
it. So
this
that
one was made in the Sahara Desert.
Wow.
Yes.
you
The
just got
Sahara
gifted a
Desert.
visual,
I
right? You
did,
just got
I
gifted a
did.
visual from the fans.
That's
I did.
amazing.
And there's nothing greater than that.
Yeah, I love
You should
that.
be so proud.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So go to Spotify, look up C3,
Yes.
and you're going to find the song I Just Dance and see that visual in the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
just a random,
Nope.
lot of sand in LA.
Nope.
No,
Okay.
this is so inspiring.
This is on location, people.
Yes.
Yeah, and speaking of,
Yes.
how did the journey begin in the music industry for you? Because you grew up in Lebanon, and then we have our Connecticut connection.
Yes, we
Connecticut
do.
connection.
So crazy. We both have
So
Connecticut
wild.
numbers still.
Yes,
And this
still.
random little state, right?
Yeah.
And we're both from there.
Usually people drive through Connecticut to go places.
Yeah. My girls were born in Connecticut. And so you grew up in Connecticut for a bit.
Yes.
And
After
then-
we moved from Lebanon, we moved to Connecticut because we already had family there.
Okay.
So
Lovely.
yeah, we lived, and my family's still in Connecticut.
Okay, and now how did the music journey evolve, and then what brought you to Hollywood? Tell us a little bit about that. This is always so inspiring for people to hear the background story because, as they're charting their course,
Yes.
they kind
so
of go
I've,
with this.
I've always been a writer. I've always written poems, lyrics, but I always wanted to do music. I just didn't fully pursue it because I felt like I needed to do something more, that more reliable. But I always dabbled around in music. I taught myself how to DJ when I was really young, and then I just kind of put it on the back burner. Then I moved on my own from Connecticut to Boston, then from Boston to LA. And then when I got here, I'm like, you know what? It's time to think more about this. During COVID, I said, I'm going to put all my time into it. I'm going to learn how to produce. So, yeah, I went back to school. I learned how to produce and started putting my music out. I didn't even tell anyone. I'm like, just in case I don't, I don't do well with it, I don't have to explain why.
No, it's
then
called
I just showed up with my music
Yeah.
and
Oh, 100%. It's, while we it's always good to put that energy out and declare it to the world.
Yes.
It is also preserving your energy to keep it to yourself. It is
Exactly.
also, it's a bit of both. And one
Yeah.
needs
Personal.
to... Very
Yeah.
personal,
Yeah.
exactly.
And to
When
avoid
you feel the need to
distractions,
share,
yeah.
you will share.
Yes.
And when it's personal, you need to preserve it. So I love that.
Exactly.
That is exciting.
Thank you.
Where did you go to school for that?
So I started in Connecticut. I went to Eastern.
Okay.
And then when I got here, I went to this school called Point Blank Music Academy. And that's where I took different courses to just learn how to learn the technical parts of music production.
Love.
Yeah.
One day I want to go visit the DJ school in Amsterdam.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, let's
Is
go
that
on
a
a
dream?
trip.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's go on
Let's
a
do an
trip.
episode
There's of course
live
the
from
museum,
Amsterdam.
which
That would
I'm
be
yet to
I
go.
want
I
to
want to
go
go to the
too.
museum.
Yeah.
But I
Wow.
believe that there is like a school as well.
There is,
So
yeah.
that was something that my younger daughter, actually, who is now a member of a global girl group, before she got into this, that was actually her plan.
Wow.
She actually wanted to finish high school and then go study how to become a DJ in Amsterdam.
Laura, you're so
amazing.
cool. I want to do that.
Yeah,
She
that's
wanted to
amazing.
do that.
Yeah.
She said that, can
Yeah.
you just send me there instead of college? And we were like, okay, if that's really what you
Yeah.
want. It took us a minute to get there because
Right.
Ria went to NYU, the older one.
Yes.
And but over the years we understand that to pursue what you really want, you've got to study that, and that's a lot of value in
Yes.
that. That's
And
so
you're a good parent to allow your kids to be creative in this.
Yeah,
It's not to
yeah,
be like you have
no.
to be you have to go to school, be a doctor, go
Absolutely.
to school to
We've
do
heard
this.
that
in our
so many
backgrounds,
times.
right?
Yeah.
In our backgrounds, like
Right away.
Lebanese Americans, Indian Americans, we go through that constantly,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
There's the
Yeah.
importance. We have
We've heard
multiple
it.
shows in that we will we'll dig deeper
Yeah.
into that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this training's been so pivotal to lead
Yeah.
to the success and the amazing sound that we've heard in your songs. So let's go
you.
ahead
And
listen to this next song, High in Dubai.
I love
Are
the
you
name
ready,
already.
Kavita?
I am excited. Yes.
C3, are you ready?
I'm very ready.
Here we go
Fresh
with
hit.
High in Dubai.
I don't know why I'm still so high. Since Friday night, I feel alive. It's Sunday morning, I still fly until tomorrow or July. I don't know why I'm still so high. Since Friday night, I feel alive. It's Sunday morning, I still fly until tomorrow. I'm in Dubai. I don't know why I'm still so high. Since Friday night, I feel alive. It's Sunday morning, I still fly until tomorrow or July. I don't know why I'm still so high. Since Friday night, I feel alive. It's Sunday morning, I still fly until tomorrow. I'm in Dubai. I'm in Dubai.
C3, that was so
Incredible. I
amazing.
feel
you.
like I'm lifted. I'm there.
Also the other thing that struck me is this song is so syncable. I can hear this in like a reality show. So Dubai Bling, are you listening?
Yes.
Because this song needs to be there. I feel like this is such a transition from like the
Yeah.
night to morning.
Yes,
That
yes.
scene, can you imagine this ending and then they're waking up and having
I
or
do
something
love
like
that show too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the
So
show,
good.
but it's so syncable, right? It's
Yes,
such a great
yes.
Yes,
song. Yeah.
it's so catchy. The build, was there. And I was telling C3 while listening, I can picture it at a club with the lights. I mean, it makes
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a great light show. the sound twinkles itself. What
Beautiful.
inspired you to create Chaya in Dubai?
Yeah,
Were you in
why-
Dubai when it happened?
Exactly.
No, I was actually out at the club, and I don't know how. Like in my head, I was hearing the.
You're
the
not even in
lyrics.
Dubai. You were
I
in
know.
LA.
I've
In
never.
spirit, in
I've
spirit.
never been to Dubai.
In spirit.
And then I just wrote it, and then I turned to my friend. I'm like, listen to these words I just wrote, and he just started laughing. He's like, write it down. You're gonna do
So
something
smart.
with it. Yeah, and
And
that's
that girl
That's how it
vocalist, who was
happens.
that? Who we heard?
it's someone I found online. I hired her to do the little vocals for me, and that's how that happened. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, it came together so well.
Yes.
Before we hit play, do you want to maybe set a mood for us or just give us, a couple words to get us in the right mindset for this?
Yep.
Yeah, so this song is pretty much a reflection on the social and like economic challenges that people have, and also how a way of success is how people can get out of whatever little
Problems,
challenges
Yeah.
they're having in their life, and that's how they rise above it. So
Yes.
pretty much this song is about that.
Oh my gosh,
I
I
love
love it. I can't
it.
wait. Kavita, are you
I
ready?
love it. I am
C3,
ready.
are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Rukus Avenue Radio. Without further ado, here's Detras Del Dinero.
Envidia porque ellos no son como yo. Comprando y vendiendo yo hice 1 millón. Somos una línea puro hermano. Su balazo se puso al que se confundió. Envidia porque ellos no son como yo. Comprando y vendiendo yo hice 1 millón. Somos una línea puro hermano. Su balazo se puso al que se confundió. Siendo manteca. Los giles han apretado caleta, pero sigo libreta. Si no te matas en el barrio, eso no es un problema. Me puse pie, fijé la meta y aunque sufrí caleta, el dinero está cayendo, ya llegué a la meta. Me puse pie, fijé la meta y aunque sufrí caleta, el dinero está cayendo, ya llegué a la meta. Detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás del dinero, detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás del dinero. Detrás del dinero. Detrás del dinero. Detrás de la funda, estamos en el bando. Estamos con mi compa, todos coronando. Tu baby me está llamando. Yo le voy llegando. Ella quiere elevarse de todo, olvidarse, salir con todo su parce. Mami, vente conmigo, yo pongo todo a tu alcance. Ustedes tratando de decir que son gangster, pero son feca. Corriendo de chico, ella hasta los tecas, haciendo manteca. Los giles han apretado caleta, pero sigo libreta. Si no te matas en el barrio, eso no es un problema. Detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás del dinero, detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás del dinero. En el party la vaina bacana, los giles los tenemos todos en la rama. Cuidado, no te bajes de la raya, te mando con la morena. Los giles tirando pelando, pensando cómo llenar la billetera. Te mando solo la morena, te mando solo la morena. Los giles tirando pelando, susurro pensando cómo llenar la billetera. Te mando solo la morena, te mando solo la morena. Viven porque ellos no son como yo, comprando y vendiendo yo hice 1 millón. Somos una línea puro hermano, su balazo se puso al que se confundió. Detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás del dinero, detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás dinero, detrás del dinero.
What a fire,
Wow.
fire song.
That was Detras Del Dinero by
C3.
C3.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Thank
I
you,
love
thank
the
you.
violin. I love the girls'
Yes.
vocals, the guys, the build. I felt like I was right back in Miami, perhaps.
Exactly. And the way you tied, again, the Middle Eastern sounds, the instruments into this,
Always, yeah.
kind of Latin pop dance hit
Yes.
is just
Thank
Amazing. This song has like great energy.
Thank you. Yeah, I also love like classical music, so
Ah.
I feel like that's where the violin comes in a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
The violin speaks to me, whether it's Lady
Yes.
Gaga, Alejandro,
Yeah.
or something like yours. It just adds such a character into the song.
Do you play any instruments?
I
or-
don't. That's the thing. So a lot of my music and the beats, it's by ear. For me.
Yeah.
So where most people can be like, oh, like play the note in this key or do this. For me, it's by ear.
Okay.
Then I go on my piano and then I like find that. So it takes me longer.
Yeah.
But I'm actually playing like what I'm hearing in my head.
Right. And
Yeah.
You're mapping it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. I was telling you as we were playing, I feel like Cardi should remix Yo quiero dinero with his
Yes.
song Detras Del Dinero.
Yes.
And Kavita, you were asking him about the lyrics, right? What were you asking?
No, what I was saying is that how did these three lines, the main three lines, come to be?
Right.
Detras
So-
Del Dinero. And I know that you had the feeling and the story behind it, but how
Yes.
did those they're so catchy and they're so like,
Yeah, so I came up with the 3 lines, and because I don't really I understand some Spanish, but I don't speak it. So I found the artist, and he kind of built on that, you know, because I wanted the song to be about like the pursuit of success, and and transcending like the limitations of a person's beginnings, and how that's the way to excuse me, how that's the way to like rise above that. So I wanted the song to be about that. And then the artist I found to do the vocals, he's from Colombia and he's been through some similar stuff. So I think both of our stories together kind of brought these lyrics.
And how do
To
you meet
life.
someone from Colombia? I mean, you are an international artist. So how do you create these kinds of connections?
The
Yeah.
power of social media.
yeah.
Wow.
See,
Okay.
I'm really bad like approaching people in person,
Okay.
like talking about myself, talking about my music. But I feel like on social media, just because I can send my music, I can show my work right
Yeah,
away.
right.
So it speaks for
Absolutely.
itself. So I'm able to more be like, oh, I need you to do this, or I need someone to do this, and or they come
Or this
to
is
me.
what I can do. What can
Exactly.
you
Instead of just talking about it, I can just show you everything.
You know,
Yes.
it's so amazing to find collaborations, friendships, partnerships, everything emerging from social media,
Yes,
right?
yes.
It is like that's just the go-to place, and people find that comfortable. And as you said, as an artist, it's just easier to like in one
Yes.
split second you can literally be like, "Here's a track.
Exactly.
Would you like to be on it?"
Yeah, and
you
we're
know?
lucky to be like living in today's world where you're able to do that through the internet.
Yes.
100%.
You're able to bring your creativity like,
To the web.
Exactly.
We're going to keep this fast-paced energy up, Kavita, because I'm going to need you to beat me to a rapid-fire game of this or that.
I love how Walid tries every week to
Yes.
get me to do this as fast as I
It's
can.
so much fun. So
like a
C3,
tongue twister.
we're going to give you a bunch of options,
Okay.
and you have to just choose one of them as fast as you can.
Just
Okay.
for a way, the audience to get to know you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're listening in, we're about to play a game of this or that with DJ C3 and music producer extraordinaire.
Yes.
30 seconds on the clock. We're
Okay.
going to bounce between me and you, Kavita.
Okay.
And the time begins now. Vinyl or cassette tapes?
Cassette.
Cats or birds?
Cats.
Sunrise or moonrise?
Moonrise.
Paris or Marrakesh?
Marrakesh.
Studio sessions or field recordings?
Field recordings.
European architecture or Middle Eastern architecture?
Middle Eastern.
Mountains or desert?
Mountains.
Collaborating with Lebanese artists or collaborating with Hollywood icons?
Lebanese.
Yes.
Underground parties or summer festivals?
Underground parties.
Ooh, and that's 30 seconds. Kavita, it's a quick 30 seconds. We have to go faster.
That was really quick. That
My
was
questions
fun.
are like, tell me a little more. What do you like?
Can I have some more, please? All right.
He's always making fun of me, guys.
We're
really.
going to pick up the pace. And
I'm going as
we're
fast
gonna
as
want
I
to get to
can.
know Eddie, aka C3, as much as possible. So here we go. 30 more seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Begins now. Collaborations or solo ventures?
Solo.
Spicy food or sweet treats?
Sweet treats.
Winter or spring?
Spring.
Turntables or CDJs?
CDJs.
Dubai or Beirut?
Beirut.
Techno clubs or jazz lounges?
Techno.
City lights or bonfires?
Bonfires.
Cooking at home or fine dining?
Cooking at home.
Remixes or acoustic covers?
Remixes.
Berlin or Rio de Janeiro?
Berlin.
Touring or studio residency?
Touring.
Film soundtracks or classical compositions?
Classical.
Oh, and that's time. was so good to learn more
That was
about
so
you,
amazing.
C3. I love it. That was so much fun. So it's been such a great episode. I mean, we've really got to hear a range of your music.
Thank you.
Discover the common thread and, how you bring yourself to the sound, and even get to share some of it with our listeners.
Yeah. You kind of took us to the club in this episode.
Yes.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yes, and we had such a
Lots
blast.
Of energy.
Thank you.
For those aspiring musicians out there, aspiring DJs, music producers, what advice would you give to someone starting off, whether they're in LA or not, wherever they're at in the world, if they have this love for music and want to do what you're doing? What are some words you would share with them?
Stay true to yourself. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Like, it's okay to have people you look up to, but don't try to copy anyone. That's the biggest thing, because that's what's going to make you stand out. You know, these days, doing what everyone else is doing, you're just going to get lost in that. So just stay true to yourself, and any success you get, you'll be proud of, because, you did what's authentic to you. So
I love.
that.
How
Thank you.
often do you get to go back internationally? Do you travel back to
I
Lebanon?
travel a
How's it-
lot. I travel all the time. I mean, my mom still lives in Lebanon.
Okay.
Hi,
We have a
Mom.
house there. Hi, Mom.
Are you performing? Going to be performing there sometime?
I want to. That's my goal. So I need to
love.
find the right venue. So
Right.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not easy making those kind of, just
No,
because,
it's not.
your origin is from a certain country.
Yeah.
As a music mom, I do understand that it's not something that people can just pick up and do. You
Right.
actually have to build those relationships. And
Yeah.
being so far away, that is its own work. You have to
Yes.
make that effort. But once you
Yes.
do,
Yes.
it's probably an inroad into building more of those bridges.
for sure. Well, also, I feel like I'm going to mention this, like coming from somewhere like Lebanon where being gay isn't as open. So it's hard to kind of build those connections in those areas, because I also know a lot of my fans there kind of look up to me to be more open and to speak about
Love.
this. So
Got it.
I don't want to kind of hide that.
Yeah.
By going there and performing somewhere and pretending I'm not a certain way.
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. I
We
love
love
being
it.
that, artist that's also
And authentic.
authentic
very
role
authentic.
model.
True to your
for
message in
fans.
music,
Yes.
right? We've spoken several times about artists that have performed in like Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Who was it whose pants ripped and she couldn't keep on going with her show?
Oh my God, I'm forgetting.
It was on one of
Sorry.
our last episodes,
Yeah.
but the fact of the matter is, they don't perform there, or they do, but they switch it up and aren't true to themselves because
Right.
of the region.
Right.
You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Right.
But I love that C3, you're staying true to your voice regardless
sure.
of where it's heard.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Cannot wait to see where your next few gigs are going to be,
Thank you.
and I will be there.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
speaking of, you mentioned a San Diego
Yes.
a circus
Yeah.
house music party.
Yes.
So we're going to learn more about that when you drop the deets on your
Yes,
Instagram.
yes.
What else? You have this new music that just
Yeah.
dropped today. Are more productions in the works?
Yeah, I'm actually working on an Arabic, house track right now. I have another collaboration with another artist who lives in LA. And I also want to mention really quick
Yes.
about all my cover art. My
Yes.
really good friend and tattoo artist does.
Oh.
Yeah, you can find him on my Instagram. But
What's
yeah,
the name?
A specimen Chris. Yeah.
Yes,
His
and
name
tell
is
us
Chris.
your
Love.
Instagram again.
Yeah, C.3 Music.
Awesome. And you can find C.3 Music on all platforms like Spotify and Apple Music.
Yes.
You don't want to miss it. And you can catch him in West Hollywood spinning in the downtown underground scene as well. All deets are on your socials, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
Have you had some mentors along the way, C3, that you can say helped you? Is it an important part of that journey for artists to have mentors that they can look up to?
Yeah, for me, my mentors weren't in the music industry. It's just people close to me kind of pushing me to just do what I do and stay true to myself. So they get the credit for that,
Yeah,
It's
it's a lot
family.
of hard work
Yeah.
and
Yes.
diligence that goes behind it, right? One sees
Yeah.
the 3 hours in a nightclub, but the
Exactly.
amount of hours and hours
Yeah.
of planning,
Yes.
preparation.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, we're still human. We want validation, even if we say we don't, and we don't care what anyone thinks. We kind of do at the end of the day. So to have that support system
That
is
love.
important, and also like my dad and my, they love my music. my family.
Yeah.
So,
And guys, in the
yes.
clips, you're going to see his style. He's got so
Yes.
much style. I know
C3 is
if
full
you're
of
if you're
fashion.
listening,
Yeah.
if you're listening to this on the radio, do also check us out on socials at Lights Camera Conversation. And he is so
Thank
dressed.
you.
So
I always try to
fabulously
include pink in everything. I
stylish.
feel like
Oh,
it's such
really?
anything. Even if I'm wearing all black, I'll have like a pink ring or something. I think pink is such a happy color, and I think
Yeah.
anytime anyone sees pink, they kind of like,
So love, yeah.
they're happy.
Hey,
So-
Barbie.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
Yes, with that said, we are almost at time. You know where to find C3. You know where to find us. C3, thank you so much.
Thank you
It
for
was
having
such a
me. I had
wonderful
so much
time.
fun. Thank
So
you.
did we.
I appreciate
That's
it.
C3. I'm Walid Chaya.
I'm Kavita Raj.
And this is Lights
Camera
Convo. Cheers.
Thank you all. Cheers.
जियो या मर जाऊं